Hey guys, it's Gina, and I'm going to walk through this layout that I made on National Scrapbooking Day. I actually got 3 layouts made that day. I'm very happy about that. I don't know when the videos will go up because, like I said, Shelly and I are sort of combining our efforts, and she launched, or is going to launch, our new website. And it's called remembereveryday.com. Remember everyday, one word, no spaces. Remembereveryday.com. So if you want to check out the layouts and all of the stuff we have going on over there, she does a great job. So head on over there and take a look. And that is where all of my layouts will be featured from now on. I don't have to do any more web design or blogging or anything like that. It's fantastic. So I can concentrate on what I love to do, and Shelly really likes the web design stuff, so Shelly can do that. And Shelly does lots of digital stuff, and so get the best of both worlds over there. Paper and digital, and I don't know if she's going to put her knitting stuff up there or not. She's a fantastic knitter. Anyway, still getting over bronchitis, so excuse my voice and coughing. So I'm going to scrapbook these two pictures that I printed out on a 4x6 paper. It's two 2x3 pictures. There are pictures of birds that we took while we were taking a nature walk. One is a Baltimore Oriole, one is a cardinal. I call them it's an Oriole bird. But they're Baltimore Orioles because they're ours. Anyway, so I'm going through. I have a drawer right next to my crafting desk that has a bunch of what I call layering stuff in it, and I just toss a bunch of stuff that I could use for layering in that drawer, and that's what you're seeing there. I'm going through because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to struggle with this layout quite a bit to get a layout, to get a design down that I like. So I'm using the kit from Scraptastic, the Darlene kit. Excuse me one second. Goodness gracious. If this cough doesn't go away, I'm really going to lose my mind. Anyway, I'm going to mat this photo on this, I guess it's like a green and black. It's kind of like a aqua teal-y kind of green and black paper. I'm going to ink the edges of all the papers in Black Soot Distress ink, which seems to be my go-to lately, mostly probably because it's sitting right on my desk, so I don't have to get up to get anything. So I'm going to do that. And I decided to use this kit for these last couple of layouts because there were a lot of bird motifs in that kit. So I decided that I would use that kit to document some of these bird pictures that I have. And the little bird picture, the little bird paper and that blue paper that's sitting behind there are both from Glitz. And actually that flower cutout is from a Glitz pack too. So the flower is from a Whatnot collection from Glitz, and then the papers are their paper layers. And like I said, you can head over to remembereveryday.com and to get a list of all of the supplies that I use on this layout. So this is some mulberry paper that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And I think it's called the Paper Source. It was the company that made it, and I just crumpled it a little bit to give it a little bit more texture. And then I'm going to put adhesive on the back, and I'm going to use that to build my main layout. And like I said, I'm going to go through this for a bit. Excuse me. The bronchitis is gone, but this cough doesn't ever seem to leave. It's driving me crazy. So I really like the way this is shaping up right here, but I really wanted to use this paper with the feathers on it, and I wasn't sure how to incorporate that. So I decided that I'm going to cut out some circles of that feather paper to use as layers, and I'm going to use my Martha Stewart circle. I don't know what you call that. It's a circle cutter. And I find that using the glass mat behind it helps to make those cuts easier, as opposed to using the rubber cutting mat that sits on my desk all the time. I'm going to cut 2 of these circles out, but eventually I'm going to need another one, because this layout goes in a whole different direction that I don't even know. But I have to be honest, I don't really have an idea when I start this of like where my layouts are gonna go. And I thought at first that I would layer these like that across the page, and actually looking at it now, it looks much better than it looked in my head when I was making this layout. Yeah, that would have worked just fine. But I'm gonna sit and play with this for a little bit longer because I don't like the way it looks as I'm sitting looking at this. I'm going to mat this photo again using pink cardstock that came in that Scraptastic kit. Yeah, that layout right there would have worked just fine. And now I'm going to play around with lots of other things that are not going to work. I'm going to try to put some pink cardstock layers behind this. I don't know why. I hate when that happens. You're sitting and you're watching a video and you're like, why did I do that? Because that original design or layout of the papers and things worked just fine. But when I was working on it, I didn't like it. So I decided that I was going to play around with it some more. I really don't like that. So I'm going to pull it up again. I think I don't like it. And then I'm like, yeah, we got to add more paper. So I cut some more of that polka dot paper that I used to mat the photo. And I'm going to try to layer this all down, and it's not working. I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. So eventually I will pull this all off. Eventually I'm going to pull this all off and work on it again in a different way. I think what's really throwing me off is that flower, but I really wanted to use it, so I never let go of the flower idea. But I think that is what's throwing me off here. And that blue paper that's sitting behind my photo right now, I really love, but you're going to see a sliver of it on the final layout. It doesn't even, you can't even tell that it's there, really. So basically, that's what this is all about. It's just, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's just about trying to figure out, even that would have worked. That looks good, too. Didn't see it when I was, playing around with these layers. This isn't how it's going to end up either. And again, like I said on the last video, I haven't scrapbooked in a long time, and I think you guys probably know when you're scrapbooking pretty regularly, things tend to go a little bit faster and a little bit, it's a little bit easier because you're in the rhythm and you're in the flow of things, and then you take a break and you haven't scrapbooked in a while, and then things look weird and they don't go. I tried to use these wooden. I didn't commit to this very long. I tried them for a little bit. I am going to use that green flower, but so here we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere, I think. Unfortunately for me, so I'm going to lay this all down. I really like it, and then I'm going to pull it up, and it doesn't go back the way. Doesn't that always happen? It never goes back down the way you had it originally. The more I talk, the more I cough, which makes Stu happy because I'm not coughing. I'm not talking that much. But I want to get these videos done. I'm leaving for Atlanta this afternoon, and I want to give Shelly some things to put up on our website. So you'll want to go over there and check it out. She'll do all the formatting and stuff like that. So she'll release the videos. And, yeah, I'm excited about that. Like, we've wanted to do a project together for quite some time, and we've joked about it and all that kind of stuff. But then, yesterday, it just sort of happened. I was working on layouts for National Scrapbooking Day, and she was working on her layout, her web design. And she's like, you ought to just, put your projects up on my site, because I was telling her how much I don't like doing web design or blogging. And I said, well, I've been wanting to say that all day, but I didn't want to just invite myself. So it actually, it's freaky how sometimes our brains work in the same sort of way. Because I was saying that to myself the whole day. I was like, oh, she could just host my stuff, and then she brought it up, so it worked out good. So now I'm getting back to this layout. I am now committing to I put some adhesive down, and I'm now committing to where these things are going to go. And it's a little bit irritating to me because it didn't go back down where I wanted it to go, where I had it laid out originally. But it works out. It's okay. This is not my favorite layout, but it's done. Hey, it's in the book. I'm happy. And I decide I am going to use these circle cuts that I made, but I'm going to layer them down the bottom bottom left-hand side of the page. You'll see I'll bring that other one back in a second. I put that little chipboard bird there. I put a little chipboard flower on the right-hand side, and the bird isn't laying right, so I'm going to have to add some dimensional adhesive underneath him. Get him all settled. Still trying to use those medallions. That didn't work. I cut off the stem of the flower so it didn't fall below the bird because I didn't like the way that looked. And now I'm like, oh wait, I like these circles, but I decide, but see the awkwardness at the bottom left hand side. I'm like, oh, but now I need another one. I need another circle. So I'm going to cut that in a second. And right now I'm just looking through all of the other things that came in the kit. I'm looking at the chipboard that came and the die cut shapes. And this little word says loving life. So I put that across the stem of the flower. And then that little gold heart is from that chipboard set. And then I'm going to use these 3 chipboard arrows to actually point to the birds in the pictures. Because I feel like the layout is busy, the birds are small, and they're kind of obscured by the branches, so I want to really bring the attention to the birds in the picture, because that's what I'm talking about. Here I'm going to cut my 3rd circle so I can put that down, and at this point things are flowing. Now it's like, oh, thank goodness, things are working out, and because of where I put the adhesive underneath that, I couldn't get that circle to work, so I just cut it in half. And now I'm going to add adhesive around now that I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going to go. And then I'm going to outline these circles because I didn't put black ink around the edges of them like I had on the other light papers, the lighter shaded papers of the layout. So I just added some outlines. And I'm going to outline the flower as well. And just adding some outlines around just to make that all very cohesive. Alright, and I'm going to open up this package of die cuts that came, and I'm not going to use that many of them. I think I used 3. I use that one right there that says spreading my wings. I'm going to use a little, that one right there that's got that pink, and then I'm going to use one that says memories above that pink and gold one that I put in right next to that flower. I wanted to use that bird really bad, but and I love the way it looks right there. Unfortunately, had I put it there, I wouldn't have had anywhere to journal. So I'm actually going to take that bird off, and then I'll use it on my next layout. Put all of these die cuts away. I struggle to use die cuts. Like, I own a million packs of them, and I just struggle. Like, I'm going to have to make that like a challenge to myself, that I have to use, like a full die pack collection on a layout or something like that, just to get rid of these things. There's that small tab I'm going to use that says memories. There we go. And I'm gonna, what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna add some more gold hearts around the layout, because I have that gold in the arrows and also in that one little heart that's underneath the floral chipboard. So I just wanted to pull that gold around a little bit, and I'm going to title this very simply. It's going to say bird watching. I changed my mind and thought that I might give it some sort of what I thought was a clever title, but then I decided you're not clever. Just put bird watching and be done with it. I'm using these LA Studio letters that came in the kit. There we go. Very exciting stuff, putting the title on here. And then bird and watching obviously are not going to end at the same point on the layout, so I'm going to pull out some of these rub-ons, and I'm going to use that little chevron arrow sort of thing. I'm going to lay that above where that space is with bird and watching, and then that's going to bring some gold up to that corner as well. So and putting rub-ons on mulberry paper takes a little bit of time, so that's what you're seeing here. There we go. I'm going to do my journaling. The journaling reads, we saw many birds at Prime Hook National Wildlife Refuge, including these 2 Baltimore Orioles and this cardinal. I think this is the first time I've actually seen an Oriole. Most of the time I thought I saw one, it was a robin. I'm not very good at bird identification. So I'm going to do the journaling, and then I think that's going to wrap this up. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and there is a still photo at the end, but if you want to see up close and detailed photos of this layout, and you want to see the supply list, check it out on the blog. That's remembereveryday.com. I hope you guys are having a good day. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.